Disruptions to our natural sleep-wake cycles, known as circadian rhythms, are becoming more common due to excessive social media use and screen time, especially late at night. The blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, making it harder to fall asleep, while the constant engagement with content overstimulates the brain. This leads to poor sleep quality, mood swings, and neurotransmitter imbalances that are vital for mental health. Combined with a sedentary lifestyle, poor diet, and lack of sunlight, the effects of sleep deprivation worsen, heightening the risk of depression, anxiety, and even suicidal ideation. This podcast explores how restoring sleep habits can help protect mental well-being in the age of constant social media use. Disruption of circadian rhythms and lack of restorative sleep. Circadian rhythms regulate the natural sleep-wake cycle. They are influenced by environmental cues like light and darkness. Excessive social media use at night disrupts these rhythms. Constant screen exposure can profoundly affect mood and mental health. A lack of restorative sleep worsens this scenario significantly. It compounds the effects of social media addiction, poor diet, and inactivity. Impact of screen time on circadian rhythms. Social media use, especially at night, disrupts circadian rhythms. Blue light from screens interferes with melatonin production. Melatonin signals the body that it's time to sleep. When melatonin is suppressed, falling asleep becomes harder. The brain remains activated by social media content late at night. This stimulation makes it difficult to wind down and achieve restful sleep. Research shows excessive nighttime social media use worsens sleep quality. It leads to disrupted sleep patterns, shortened duration, and sleep deprivation. This exacerbates mental health issues, including anxiety and depression. Role of sleep in neurotransmitter. Balance. Sleep is essential for regulating neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. During sleep, the brain restores neurotransmitter levels. REM sleep is crucial for emotional regulation. Deep sleep helps consolidate memories and clear waste from the brain. When sleep is compromised, neurotransmitter levels drop. This leads to worsening mood disorders like depression and anxiety. Serotonin, necessary for calmness and contentment, decreases with poor sleep. Dopamine, tied to motivation and reward, becomes less regulated. This can deepen feelings of anhedonia, or the inability to feel pleasure. Sleep deprivation and increased cortisol levels. Lack of restorative sleep raises cortisol levels, the stress hormone. Chronic sleep deprivation and social media use create chronic stress. Elevated cortisol decreases serotonin production and desensitizes dopamine receptors. This hormonal imbalance leads to mood swings and irritability. Chronic cortisol can cause neuroinflammation and damage to the hippocampus. The hippocampus is critical for memory and emotional regulation. This damage worsens depressive symptoms and cognitive issues like concentration. Sleep deprivation, circadian disruption, and suicidal risk. Sleep disorders and circadian disruptions are linked to suicidal ideation. Poor sleep is a predictor of suicidal behavior, especially with mental health challenges. Sleep deprivation impairs cognitive functioning and emotional regulation. It increases impulsive behavior, including self-harm and suicidal actions. Circadian rhythm disruptions worsen symptoms of depression and increase suicide risk. Inconsistent sleep patterns lead to mood swings, irritability, and hopelessness. These symptoms heighten the risk of suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Cumulative effects on mood and mental health. Social media addiction, disrupted circadian rhythms, and lack of sleep create a vicious cycle. Social media use at night causes sleep disturbances and neurochemical imbalances. This worsens mood and cognitive dysfunction over time. As sleep deprivation and neurotransmitter dysregulation accumulate, depression deepens. Circadian misalignment impairs the brain's ability to recover from stress. This worsens anxiety, emotional instability, and depressive symptoms. Without proper rest, the brain becomes less resilient to daily stressors. Turning to social media for a temporary dopamine boost worsens mental health. Conclusion: disruptions to circadian rhythms and poor sleep worsen the effects of social media addiction. These factors contribute to neurotransmitter depletion, leading to depression and anxiety. The cycle of poor sleep and social media overuse increases the risk of severe mental health issues. Addressing sleep hygiene, diet, physical activity, and limiting screen time can help. These steps are essential for mitigating risks and improving overall mental well-being. In summary, using social media late at night can mess up your body's natural sleep cycle because the blue light from screens stops your brain from making melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. Plus, engaging with content before bed makes it harder to relax and fall asleep. When we don't get enough sleep, the brain can't properly regulate key chemicals like serotonin and dopamine, which help us feel calm, happy, and motivated. Lack of sleep also raises cortisol, the stress hormone, which can make anxiety and depression worse. Over time, poor sleep combined with social media overuse can lead to a cycle of feeling stressed, tired, and unmotivated. This might make you crave social media more for quick dopamine boosts, but in the long run, it only worsens mental health. In extreme cases, disrupted sleep and mood can increase the risk of suicidal thoughts. Improving sleep, eating well, getting enough sunlight, and limiting screen time, especially before bed, are essential steps to protect both sleep and mental health.